Cut a long story short, I joined the ANZ Bank and I got to be a bank manager after 13 years at the tender age of 33, which I thought was okay. I was introduced to the world of financial planning back in the late 80s and eventually stepped out my own at that stage and started my own business. I have been successful more than I could ever imagine, and along the way I've met some very nice people and I've really enjoyed what I've been doing. But like all things, as you move on a little bit, your ideas of success and what you wish to do change. I just felt there was something more, I was just missing something in a sense. And then I get this letter from half-time suggesting that I need a trip to India, which quickly went on the bottom drawer very quickly. I thought, you're kidding. India, never in a million years. But by lunchtime, after I'd been home and seen my wife, I'd rung them up and said I was going, and I still find it hard to believe that I actually even went there for a start. But the change in me personally, I'm not even sure if I quite understand it yet myself. One of the places we went to was Amritsar, which is not far from the Pakistani border. We're on the back of this cart, a horse-drawn cart of all things, and this fellow was following us, and I looked into his eyes and you could just see the hopelessness in his eyes, and I can still see him to this day, and that changed me. One of the business sessions we had, I was introduced to a fellow named Jossie, and Jossie gave a discussion about the four major religions of the world and the way they interact with societies that have been created based around those religions, how Christianity and Western society and India and Hinduism and China and Buddhism, and how that relates to work ethic, and it made me realise that I could actually do something with my business rather than earn the money for money's sake. Maybe I could have a parallel career in a sense, and through the second half of my career I could help them a bit more instead of all being focused on myself. When I initially came back from the first trip to India, I became more involved in half-time because I felt they could help me with defining that purpose I'd actually thought I discovered, in a sense, as far as the business goes, and how to, I suppose, change the business from being just one focused on that to a parallel type career. I guess as a business person, I always like to think I know it all, or I can read it in a book. The point is, you can't. You do need someone you can who will coach you, I guess, for a better way of putting it. I spend time away from my business now. I guess I do have a parallel career, and that was introduced to me through half-time. I try and spend a month a year doing work for Impart in India. I go over there and I actually speak at training sessions where they train church planters. I guess we would call them pastors. I do a session on leadership, on team building, and on budgeting. Ideally, if I could go to India and just do my talks about leadership and team building and budgeting whenever I could, I'd be a happy man, and I just feel that that's my calling. I've finally worked how to spend some time on the business that I like to do, but really spend some time on things that I really want to do.